Hi, I'm Amy, this is House of Nash Eats, and today we are making vanilla cupcakes. The first thing we're going to do to make these cupcakes is whisk together our dry ingredients. So I'm using flour and cornstarch in this recipe, and the reason I use flour and cornstarch is it is a substitution or replacement for cake flour, and I don't always have cake flour on hand. So I just wanted to show that you can really use a substitution like cornstarch and flour and still get a really great result in your baked goods. So I've got flour and cornstarch, and I'm going to add my salt and baking powder and baking soda. And then I'm just gonna whisk those together. You could sift them together, it's just easier for me to whisk them, and it kind of lightens them up and aerates them. Set that to the side, and then we're going to pull out a stand mixer, or you could do this with a hand mixer too. It's just a little easier for me with my stand mixer. So I'm going to beat my butter and sugar until it's light and creamy, which is gonna take about 2 to 3 minutes. And it's really, really a good practice when you're making cakes or cupcakes to always start out with room temperature ingredients. So my butter's been sitting out for a little while, so it's nice and soft. If you forget to do that, you can pop your butter in the microwave for like 5 to 10 seconds and flip it over and keep microwaving it just until it softens but doesn't melt. It's literally like a 10-second thing, and it works pretty well. So, got my sugar and my butter, and now we're going to beat with the paddle attachment until those are creamy and light. Okay, when you've beaten those for 2 to 3 minutes, they even change color, so they're not quite as yellow, which is great because with these vanilla cupcakes, we want them to have a nice white color, so they're a great base for lots of different uses. So now we're going to add in our vanilla, and I'm just using vanilla extract, but you could use vanilla bean paste if you want to have those little flecks of vanilla bean seeds in it. And then we're going to add our egg whites. Okay, now we beat those in. Okay, now it's a really good time to scrape down the bottom of the bowl because that sugar and butter likes to stick down there. So if we scrape it, that helps everything mix together more easily, and you'll get a better result in your cupcakes. So they rise more evenly and you'll get that nice dome on top. Also, using those room temperature ingredients, room temperature eggs and butter and sour cream and milk really help get that nice dome. Okay, we're gonna mix it one more time and then add in our sour cream. Now we're going to add the sour cream. Okay, now that we've got the sour cream mixed in and everything is just combined, we're going to add the dry ingredients, and I add these all at once. And we're going to mix that just until they're blended. But we don't need to overmix it or go crazy at this point. And just pulse it a little bit so your flour doesn't go everywhere. Okay, with the mixture running on low speed, we're just going to pour in our room temperature milk. And I like to use whole milk for the best result, but I've even used skim and it turns out fine. So whole milk if you've got it. Okay, and don't mix that too long. Once it's combined, the batter is done and you're ready to fill your cupcake pans. Okay, it's a really nice batter. It's a little bit on the thick side, but not too thick. The best way that I have found to fill cupcake liners is with a cookie scoop. It keeps things even and contained, so there's not batter dripping all over my pan. So I'm gonna use my cookie scoop and scoop out some of the cupcake batter and fill each cupcake liner about 2/3 of the way full. This recipe is going to make about 14 to 15 cupcakes. And you can easily double the recipe if you need more cupcakes. So a common mistake that I think a lot of bakers make is they actually overfill their cupcake liners, and then the cupcake turns out flat on top. The way this batter works is if you fill it just 2/3 of the way full, there's more room for the cupcake batter to climb so that it doesn't climb out and flatten when you fill it too much. Okay, now these are going to go into a preheated 350-degree oven for 19 to 22 minutes until you can press on the top of the cupcake and it bounces right back. If it leaves an indentation, they haven't cooked long enough and you want to cook them for another minute or so longer. These vanilla cupcakes go well with any kind of frosting, and I've got a whole section of frosting recipes on my site. I'll leave a link below. They go great with cookies and cream frosting, guava frosting, chocolate frosting, but today I'm keeping it all white and we're doing my vanilla buttercream frosting. So this is pretty classic, but I've got a couple of flavor enhancers that I think make this the best vanilla frosting ever. So we're going to start out with a cup of salted butter, and it's softened to room temperature. And you can do this in a hand mixer. I just find it a lot easier in a stand mixer with my whisk attachment to get a nice fluffy consistency and texture to the frosting, so it's like silky smooth. Okay, so I've got my butter, but then I add just 2 ounces of softened cream cheese. And this is an American buttercream, which they're known for being really sweet, and that little bit of cream cheese adds the tiniest amount of tang. It's not a full-on cream cheese frosting, but it's just right to balance the flavors out. So we're going to mix that for 2 to 3 minutes until it's light and smooth. Okay, the cream cheese and the butter are nice and light now, so we're going to add our powdered sugar, and it's about 4 to 5 cups of powdered sugar. I'm just going to start with the lesser amount of 4 cups and see where that gets me. Okay, so that's 4 cups of powdered sugar, and then I've just got a pinch of salt, which is another key to balancing out your frosting flavor, and then 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, because this is a vanilla frosting after all. But then my other secret ingredients is, even though it's a vanilla frosting, I add just 1/8 of a teaspoon of coconut extract and almond extract. It's so small that you won't actually be able to taste like coconut or almond, but it really gives like depth to the frosting. It's why this really is the best frosting. So just 1/8 of a teaspoon. Okay, and then a little bit of cream to get it just the right consistency. I'm going to start with 2 tablespoons of cream, mix this all up, and then add more cream as needed to get it to a nice pipeable consistency. And I'll link to this vanilla frosting recipe below as well. And stop and scrape down the bowl once or twice just to make sure everything gets evenly mixed in. Okay, this looks just about right to me. You can see that it's a nice thick frosting that holds its shape, but it's also really smooth, so it's not too stiff, and we'll be able to pipe this really well. So you can color this any color you want with some food coloring. I also like to take my spatula now and just stir it around and kind of press a little bit of air out of the frosting so it doesn't have air bubbles or holes in it if I'm using it to frost a cake or something. So I'm gonna pop that off and move those to the side since I don't need those anymore. And now I've got a piping bag with a decorative attachment on the top. And I'm just going to fill this up with my frosting to use on our cupcakes. Okay, our cupcakes are out of the oven, and you can see if I bounce my finger gently on it, it just bounces right back and there's no indentation. They've got a nice round, slight dome to them. They smell heavenly. So we're gonna let these cool off and then frost them with any frosting you choose. So once your cupcakes have cooled completely, you can go ahead and frost them. Now, the frosting that I made, the vanilla buttercream frosting, is enough for about 24 cupcakes if you're just spreading it on. But if you want to pipe it on nice and tall and thick, it'll make enough for about 14 to 16 cupcakes, which is just about right for what we have. So I'm going to go ahead and pipe these on and put sprinkles on top. So you just use a nice swirling motion and a decorative tip, and anybody can pipe professional looking cupcakes just like this. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and put some sprinkles on these just for fun. These are perfect for birthdays, parties, classroom events, bake sales. You could even make them, since they're all white, they're great for weddings or baby showers, anything you want. And that's it, these perfect, moist, delicious vanilla cupcakes. Okay, these cupcakes smell so good and I love them with sprinkles. It's okay to like sprinkles if you're an adult. I'm going to have a taste of one of these cupcakes. Just unwrapping it, you can feel how soft and moist and tender these are. I have nothing against box cake mixes, but these are better. These are so good. They have a wonderful buttery flavor. The vanilla really comes through. The frosting on top, vanilla on vanilla, is so good. Chocolate lovers, I'm sorry, but these are absolutely wonderful cupcakes. I hope you guys love these vanilla cupcakes. Let me know below what event you're making them for, whether it's a birthday or some other kind of celebration. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel for more great recipes just like this.